Expected overtime loss to the Packers in Green Bay with an unexpected blowout win over the Vikings in Minnesota today. With more on that and what's on Instant Replay, check in with our friend Greg Simmons.
Unexpected because the Vikings were 8-1 going into that game, and the Houston Texans are booed off the field after a terrible first-half performance today against the Commanders. Coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
Parsons lined up on the near side, standing up and trying to attack. Cousins, here comes Parsons. Parsons got it from behind, and the ball is out.
Micah Parsons started the party with a sack that turned into a fumble, and Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense took it from there, handing the Vikings their worst and only second loss of the season in Minnesota. With all the highlights, we'll take you inside the Cowboys' winning locker room.
They hadn't had the ball very much. They've had penalties, turned it over, sacked 3 different times.
Yeah, you can hear a little bit of it there. The Houston Texans' effort was so bad in the first half that their own fans booed them off the field as they go on to drop their 5th straight game and just have one win all season long. We'll show you how it went bad right from the start.
I actually like Anthony Davis shooting over double team better than Patrick Beverly wide open in the corner.
Big block the other way.
And speaking of 5-game losing streaks, the Spurs are trying to avoid one of their own. They face the Lakers tonight in L.A. without Pop. We'll explain that. All that plus the UTSA Roadrunners are now Conference USA regular season champions and will host Conference USA championship game on December the 2nd after roughing up Rice. And who impressed you the most in today's Cowboys victory, in their blowout victory, I should say, in Minnesota? Tonight, you decide. Instant Replay is live, and it is after the night beat.
That one was never in doubt today for the Cowboys.
Not at all.
All right, Greg, thank you. We'll see you again in a little bit.
Yeah.
The cold temperatures didn't stop people from heading to the cinema this weekend. See if the highly anticipated Black Panther sequel was able to keep their expected win at the box office.
And several states are starting to dig their way out of the historic snowfall from over this week. Why emergency crews are having to work overtime to keep the streets safe.
Is there any way for anyone to tell just by looking at a pill or a powder whether it contains fentanyl?
No.
And in our latest KSAT Explains episode, we are talking fentanyl. Our team visited the DEA lab up in Dallas where pills laced with fentanyl are coming in by the thousands. We explain what fentanyl is and why the DEA believes it is being used to lace fake pills and why it's so lethal. Well, if you keep up with the news at all, you've likely heard about the deadly effects of fentanyl and how some people are getting their hands on it without even realizing it.
Yeah, but why now? And what is fentanyl exactly? In this KSAT Explains, Myra Arthur headed to the DEA lab in Dallas, where pills laced with fentanyl are coming in by the thousands.
Pharmaceutical fentanyl is a Schedule II drug that is typically used in hospitals to treat pain.
It's mostly used as a medication to really rapidly deliver pain relief to someone while they're in the operating room. It's usually given as like an infusion.
It can come in patch form.
It is one of the fastest acting opioids that we know. It acts within like 1 to 2 minutes.
There is no pill form.
We told you about a mother who feared her 17-year-old daughter died of a fentanyl overdose. The medical examiner's toxicology report confirmed that news.
Federal officials are sounding the alarm over an increasing number of fake prescription pills that contain potentially deadly fentanyl.
All of the federal drug evidence that comes from Texas, Oklahoma, or New Mexico comes into this DEA laboratory. We're looking to see what the sample contains, so whether it's methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, or fentanyl.
The fentanyl that we're seizing, it's coming from Mexico. It's being smuggled into our communities by these Mexican drug cartels. They're making it look legitimate in a manner to appear to be Oxycontin, Percocet, Adderall, and other prescribed drugs. Drug traffickers that work in these clandestine labs that are making these fake pills. They are unaware of how much fentanyl they're putting into these pills.
Right now we're seeing the majority of the pills, but we also see it in powder form as well as compressed powder.
Is there any way for anyone to tell just by looking at a pill or a powder whether it contains fentanyl?
No. And that's what makes it so dangerous.
This seizure came into the lab while we were here today. An estimated 30,000 pills out of the El Paso area ready to be tested. This amount, what's in this vial, is 2 milligrams. That is a potentially lethal dose of fentanyl.
The same test that we use for fentanyl we use on other drugs too that we test. This is a typical fentanyl case that we got. This is a 1 kilogram of M30 tablets. They're made to look like oxycodone tablets. You can see that there's an M printed on one side and a 30 on the other side.
Take a look at the pictures. Can you tell the difference between the fake pill and the real pill? No, you cannot. This is a fake pill. And that's the problem.
And they're typically about 2 milligrams of fentanyl in the tablets. And 2 milligrams is a really small amount. For instance, this is 2 milligrams of fentanyl in there.
Oh wow, you can barely see there's anything even in there.
Correct. So that amount of fentanyl is in each one of those tablets. One of the tests we do is a quick rapid test called the amino assay. And it looks for the specific fentanyl metabolites that are found in human urine. So we only need a little bit of the sample to do that. Just take a few milligrams of it, put it in test tube, and then we mix it with water. So these are the amino assay tests. They're kind of like pregnancy tests. You're looking for the specific antigen, fentanyl antigen in that. The water is traveling up the sample stick. Once the metabolites interact with the antigens, you'll see a line. If we see one line on the C, that means it's positive.
So you said this is not unlike a pregnancy test?
Right,
It
right.
looks similar to an at-home COVID test.
Exactly. So we have to use our instruments to positively identify it, but this is just a rapid test to determine if those tablets might contain fentanyl. And there we go. So our sample matches that of the positive control. So we know that that tablet probably has fentanyl in it.
It appears as though it could be candy. And the drug dealers are utilizing rainbow fentanyl to reach our kids. It's more of an attraction.
Therapeutically, it's 100 to 200 times more potent than morphine. We are seeing already many overdoses happening in high schools. There is less time, I would say, to save them than if they were to overdose on any other opioid. But that still doesn't mean that you can't save them. Is 100% going to work if you have it. But if you don't have it, then it's going to be too late.
You're putting your life at risk by taking a pill that has not been prescribed to you. One pill can kill.
And you can find out how to get free Narcan by visiting morenarcanplease.com. You can also find that link within this story on our website at KSAT12. Canceled flights, canceled games, and the snow still remains in parts of New York. The work being done now to keep the snow cleared and get people moving again.
And it's a murder mystery in the case of 4 college students killed earlier this month. What one of the victims' sisters is revealing that helped investigators with the case. Investigators trying to piece together just what happened the night 4 Idaho college students living off campus were murdered. One of the victim's sister is revealing new clues. Olivia Gonzalez says she discovered at least 6 calls from her sister Kaylee's phone made to a boyfriend in the early morning of November 13th. Detectives now saying these phone calls are part of their investigation. Kaylee's family is firmly standing behind that boyfriend.
I know for an absolute fact that he is not a suspect. He is not suspicious. He is 100% innocent in this.
This new information adding more insight to the timeline before the 4 students were stabbed multiple times, likely while sleeping in a Rambo style knife. Police now also releasing this map that is part of the latest search area around the home and asking for new surveillance video. Well, actor Jason David Frank, the original star of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger series, has died at age 49. Frank debuted as the Green Power Ranger, a bad guy, before morphing into the good White Power Ranger in later episodes. The mixed martial artist performed many of his own stunts in the hit TV series, which ran from 1993 to 1996. His cause of death in Texas is not immediately clear. Frank's representative has asked for privacy for the actor's family and friends. He is survived by his 4 children.
Now to that massive snowstorm where more than 6 feet of snow fell in some areas of western New York. The big dig out underway all across that area. Trucks snuck into deep snow, wheels spinning, stranded drivers worrying they won't be able to get anywhere soon. The New York National Guard staging at the Erie County Emergency Operations Center, helping transport people needing dialysis. The snow disrupting air travel at Buffalo's airport with 89 cancellations yesterday. The deep snow creating tough conditions for crews trying to keep those roads clear.
We have some crews that are going to be working 16-hour shifts, some crews that are going to be working straight 24-hour shifts.
This video showing Orchard Park, home to the Buffalo Bills, where an eye-popping 77 inches fell. Erie County officials say all the major roadways reopen by this evening. They know how to move snow there. After the break, we'll have the latest on the colder temperatures here in South Texas.
All right, so today was cold.
Yeah.
Just how much colder do you think we were compared to the seasonal average?
I'm going to guess 23 degrees.
Oh, 23 degrees colder?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll say 15.
Tim, you were so close. 22 degrees.
I didn't even cheat.
Below the climatological average today here in San Antonio. So we officially got up to 48 earlier today. Our average high is 70. So definitely still seeing the effects of that cold air in place here in South Central Texas. 52 is the high temperature over in Gonzales, 46 in Uvalde, 41 up in Rock Springs, and 45 in Kerrville. Now today marks the 9th consecutive colder than average day that we have officially here in San Antonio. And you can see at least over the next 3 days, we are expecting those temperatures to stay below the average, although they will gradually start to warm leading up to Thanksgiving. So 42 is where we are here in town this hour here late this Sunday night. A north wind on hand at about 7 miles per hour. It's 40 up in Bulverde, 43 in Seguin, as well as Converse, 45 in Hondo, 38 up in Los Maples, and 46 in Castroville out in Medina County. We still do have the cloud cover in place, a little bit of light rain as well because of that thick cloud cover on hand through the overnight hours, very similar to what we've seen over the past several days. Temperatures likely not going to fluctuate a whole lot through the overnight hours. So some upper 30s possible in the hill country, low 40s here in San Antonio by wake up time tomorrow. Definitely bundle up if stepping out early tomorrow morning. Another winter-like day in place. Temperatures only in the mid to upper 40s at best as we head into tomorrow afternoon, and we do have that chance, pretty decent chance, for some light to moderate showers to push across the area, especially tomorrow morning. So again, the southern western reaches of our area tonight, pretty quiet, not a whole lot going on over the past hour and a half. We've seen some light rain push across our central portions of the area, including here in Bexar County. We are starting to see some of that move into Guadalupe County. So Seguin right now likely seeing a little bit of rain reaching over to Marion, generally just south of New Braunfels. And we do have just some light fleeting showers that continue to push across our northern counties, across the Highway 281 corridor. All of that activity moving farther up to the north and the east. So through the overnight, because we have that disturbance near the Texas Panhandle that is filtering in some additional energy into our atmosphere, that is why we are expecting expecting those rain chances to increase. 2 a.m., some more showers generally south of the San Antonio area, but generally around the time the sun comes up tomorrow, still expecting some of that scattered activity, likely making for some soggy spots tomorrow morning. So not a bad idea to plan on giving yourself a little bit of extra time out the road as well. Still could find a little bit of a mess out there through the morning hours, just very cold, light rain streaming across portions of south central Texas. Coverage is expected to come down through the afternoon hours and into the evening, but still some lingering light showers certainly possible into tomorrow evening, into tomorrow night. Also can't rule out a few isolated showers on Tuesday, but then those rain chances come down on Wednesday. Still expecting the cloud cover. I think we'll find a few more peaks of sunshine on Thanksgiving Day, and you can see those temperatures warming. 60s by Wednesday, near about 70 on Thursday, and then we see our next cold front move in on Thanksgiving Day. A few showers certainly possible. We'll monitor the trends with that rain chance for any travel plans on Thursday that you may have. Right now, not looking to be any huge issues here locally. And then after that, more sunshine returns for Black Friday shopping, and temperatures pretty comfortable in the upper 60s, guys.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's raining a little on Thanksgiving. You're just sitting inside eating, right?
I feel like dancing.
Dance.
No.
Well, okay, wait, stop. That turkey is twerking. Don't twerk, please. At least not on television, actually.
I was hitting the edit button. Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right, a variety of new offerings at theaters challenge the Black Panther sequel at the box office. And no surprise, none of them came close. Your results next.
I'll do it for you in the break.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Ticket to Paradise fell to 5th place, but passed the $60 million mark in domestic box office with a $3.2 million weekend. Black Adam dropped from 2nd to 4th place. $4.5 million gave the superhero flick a domestic total of $157 million. The first 2 episodes of Season 3 of the Christian streaming series The Chosen debuted in theaters and took 3rd place with $8.2 million.
Do not eat. Taste.
Moviegoers found The Menu a tasty treat. The darkly comic thriller opened in 2nd place, cooking up $9 million.
Stop! Right there! Who are you?
Black Panther Wakanda Forever ruled the box office for the 2nd straight weekend, earning $67.3 million for a 10-day domestic total of $288 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The UTSA Roadrunners bring home the Conference USA regular season trophy and will now host the conference championship game for a 2nd year in a row.
And who's left in the high school football playoffs after Steele and Lake Travis fought to the finish? Live here on KSAT12 Friday night. Let's find out more from Greg Simmons.
No, that's one of the nicest high school football stadiums I've ever been involved with. That was just crazy. I have a kitchen in the press box. That's how nice it is. And the World Cup kicks off today, coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay. That's a happy coach. How about the UTSA Roadrunners? Not only do they wrap up the Conference USA regular season title by roughing up Rice, now they get to host their 2nd straight Conference USA championship in the Alamo Dome. We'll show you how they did it. Plus, the University of the Incarnate Word is a 7th seed in the FBS playoffs after clinching their 2nd straight Southland Conference title and will get a first-round bye. And Trinity has advanced to the 2nd round of the Division III playoffs. We got all the highlights to prove it. And World Cup soccer kicks off in Qatar with the home country taking center stage today against Ecuador. And we'll let you know where some World Cup watch parties are being held here in San Antonio. And the high school volleyball playoffs come to an end with the Hannas in the state tournament. All that plus, the Cowboys scored their biggest road win in franchise history. And with just 1 game left in the regular season, both the Longhorns and Aggies are coming off wins. Only why did fans leave Kyle Field long before the end of the game? Instant Replay is live, and it is next. That was a very troubling picture at one time where there were just nobody in the stands at the end of the game. They left at halftime.
The only people I saw in the stands in some of the replays were the guys that were doing the T-shirt relays without their shirts on.
Yes.
Like they had a good time.
They did.
Thank you, Greg. Nobody else did.
Nobody else did. Sorry. We'll be right back.
That's all of our time for all of us. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a great Thanksgiving week.
Yeah. All New Instant Replay starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Instant Replay. After an unexpected overtime loss to the Packers in Green Bay last week, the Dallas Cowboys responded with an unexpected blowout win against one of the best teams in the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings, on game day.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Cowboys and the Vikings are always a fun matchup, but Minnesota had not lost at home this season while racking up an 8-1 overall record as the Cowboys went for their third road win in a very hostile environment. Minnesota would get the ball first, but Kirk Cousins gets sacked by Micah Parsons. The ball is knocked loose and recovered by Dallas just like that. And the Cowboys couldn't turn that turnover into a touchdown. They had to settle for a field goal and a 3-0 lead. Late in the quarter now, game tied at 3 when Ezekiel Elliott finishes a 10-play drive with his 1-yard touchdown. The Cowboys lead 10-3 after 1. Under 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, Dak to Tony Pollard, who gets a great block from Dalton Schultz on the sidelines. This goes for a 30-yard touchdown, and the Cowboys lead 23-3 at halftime. So after this, it takes us to the third quarter. The Cowboys get straight to work. Dak is going to find Pollard again with this perfect pass, and Pollard is taking it off to the house for a 68-yard touchdown. Cowboys are up 30-3. Pollard led the Cowboys in rushing and receiving today. Vikings' first drive of the second half is awful. First, DeMarcus Lawrence comes in for the sack on Cousins. 3 plays later, Cousins goes down again, this time by Dante Fowler. Vikings are forced to punt. Never really had a chance in the end zone today. Cowboys score again on their next drive. Zeke finds the end zone from a yard out for his second touchdown of the day, capping the 5-play, 41-yard drive. There's still over 8 minutes left of the quarter. Dallas racked up 151 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Dak threw for 276 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins was sacked 7 times. Here's your final score. Cowboys win big, 40-3. Dallas is now 7-3. After the game, was all about today's performance, coming up from their loss last week.
7 days ago in that locker room, we talked about, hey, this game will help us in the long run if we let it and just learn from it. And I think that's clearly was part of our lesson.
After last week, I had a good week of prep and just wanted to come in and set the standard and expectation that I've talked about, that we have for ourselves. And just as you said, just being able to go and get points on the first 7 drives, honestly, was just staying in the moment.
I feel like, we kind of found our formula, just run the ball, pounding the defense, dominating, on all phases of the game, and, just trying to slow the game down and let our defense go out there and do what they do.
This is how it should be every week, there shouldn't be no gap. We should play sound football. We show them we're capable of it. We flash it. We got to consistently do it. Consistency wins championships. So if we're able to do that, we could go real far.
All right, now since 1978, the Cowboys have never scored on each of their first 7 drives until today. The 37-point margin of victory is the highest for a road win in franchise history. The last time the Cowboys had 7 sacks in a single game was 2008 against the Seahawks. Brett Maher made 3 field goals of 50-plus yards. He now has made 7 made field goals from 50-plus yards in 2022, the most in a season in team history. Next up, they play host to the Giants Thursday, remember, Thanksgiving Day, 3:30 at AT&T Stadium. At this point, there's nowhere to go but up for the Texans, but they do have their hands full against the Washington Commanders today. First quarter, Davis Mills' second pass of the game is going to be brought back, a pick 6. Kendall Fuller going 37 yards to the house, 7-0 Washington after 1. Second quarter, Curtis Samuel takes it in 10 yards for another Washington touchdown. Houston had 6 total yards at half, down 20-0. They were booed badly by their home fans. Maybe they should have drafted a quarterback in the first round. Well, they'll have another chance now. Here's your final score. The Commanders defeat the Texans 23-10. They're 1-8-1 now in the season. Next week, they travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins at Sunday at high noon. Eagles at Colts. Philly coming off their first loss of the season. Colts were doing all the talking early on. In the fourth quarter, Colts leading 13-3 when Jalen Hurts finds Quez Watkins for the 22-yard touchdown. Indy would go up 16-10 late until Hurts caps off an 11-play, 75-yard drive with a 7-yard run to win the game for Philly with just over a minute to play. Eagles take it 17-16, improving to 9-1 with a 5-0 record this season on the road. Lions at the 7-2 Giants. Today belonged to Jamal Williams. 17 carries, 64 yards, 3 touchdowns. A Detroit running back at 160 yards rushing, 4 TDs. Daniel Jones has picked off twice. The Lions win 31-18. New York has lost 2 of their last 3 games. The Lions have now won 3 in a row. Browns and the Bills moved to Detroit due to that brutal snowstorm in the Northeast. Just look at all that snow. They would have been a game to remember for the Bills fans. Browns were up early until late in the second. Stephon Diggs is going to be wide open to the back of the end zone. Josh Allen finds him for the 5-yard score. Buffalo never looked back. Devin Singletary had 86 yards rushing and a touchdown. The Bills win it 31-23. Jets at Patriots. Game tied at 3 with 26 seconds left of the game. New York punting away. Marcus Jones makes the catch, and he is taking off to his right, down the sidelines, cuts back to the left at the 50, and then he is gone for good. 84 yards of the game-winning touchdown. The first punt return for a touchdown this season in the NFL. Pats take it 10-3 over the Jets. Panthers, Ravens. Carolina just fumbled the ball early in the fourth. Lamar Jackson takes it himself, scores from a yard out 2 plays later for the only touchdown of the game. Ravens get the win 13-3. Bengals at the Steelers. Big day for Joe Burrow. He was 24-39, 355 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Samaje Perine had 4 receptions. 3 of them were touchdowns. Since he takes it 37-30, Pittsburgh has now lost 3 of their last 4 games. Bears and the Falcons. Second quarter, Bears have just scored. This is Cordero Patterson taking the kickoff, and watch out. He's going right down the middle in traffic. He takes it back 102 yards from his own end zone, and he scores. This would be tied at 24 late, but kicker Young-Ho Koo would win the game on a 53-yard field goal. Atlanta takes it 27-24. Rams of the Saints. Andy Dalton came to play. Saints down 14-10 in the third when Dalton 2 touchdown passes, one to Jarvis Landry, the other one to Chris Olave for the 53-yarder. Saints win it 27-20. Raiders of the Broncos. Second quarter, Derek Carr finds Devontae Adams for the 31-yard TD to finally put Las Vegas on the board. Believe it or not, it was nothing but field goals after this touchdown. We would go to overtime tied at 16. That's where Carr finds Adam again, this time for the 35-yard TD to win the game. Las Vegas takes it 22-16 in overtime. Some local connections to the NFL include Trayvon Mayrig for the Raiders out of Smithson Valley. 2 tackles, 1 solo. Bengals, Trey Flowers, of course, out of Judson. 6 tackles and 3 solo. Time now to the Night Since Replay poll question. Who impressed you the most in the Dallas blowout win today in Minnesota? Was it Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, Tony Pollard, or Ezekiel Elliott? Vote now. We'll have the results at the end of the broadcast tonight. When we come back, it's Spurs game day.
I actually like Anthony Davis shooting over double team better than Patrick Beverley wide open in the corner.
Wow, big block the other way. Could the Spurs win their last game on the West Coast road trip? Larry Ramirez will have your highlights from the Spurs and Lakers game in L.A. There's so much going on in local college football as the postseason and bowl season approaches. UIW Cardinals even had a watch party today to see what lies ahead for them this season. We'll break it all down for you in the College Corner, and the best of big game coverage is coming down to the wire as the run for state continues. We'll show you along with the 12's top 12 before we go to break. The opening fireworks from the World Cup in Qatar. We'll show you who won today and when the U.S. and Mexico play their first games as instant replay continues live next.